Hey, welcome to MedPrep. So in this video, I just want to show you kind of an overview of what you'll get when you join this program. So this is our basic roadmap to medical school, and this isn't customized yet, but it's a wide spread of everything that you can do that helps you get into medical school, or in this case, your child. Now, this version is for college, and we have a version for high schoolers as well. But in essence, when you join, we'll talk about every aspect of this kind of web. So we'll mostly spend a lot of time on this core part, which covers GPA, MCAT, clinical volunteering, and your Keystone extracurricular. We'll talk about how you can help your child get the highest GPA possible, including how to invest in study skills and how to foster healthy habits. And we'll also talk about MCAT prep, including when you're going to take it, what courses you need to take before you take the MCAT, and what you should do in the summer leading to your MCAT. We'll also talk about how you can help your kid get clinical volunteering. So we'll talk about what programs you can look into. We'll talk about how many hours they need, and we'll talk about different ways you can encourage them to get this, in an organic manner. And we'll also spend a lot of our time on the Keystone extracurricular. So this is the one big extracurricular every medical student does. And it's what kind of gets them into medical school. It's what they talk about in their essays and their interviews. So we'll talk about what are good options for this, and we'll talk about how to tie it into medicine. And we'll go through examples from real medical students, including me and several other, high-performing people who got into top 20 medical schools or who got pre-matches into really prestigious universities. And we'll talk about, when to start, what to do, how to spend time on it, and all of that sort of stuff. Once we discuss that for a while, we'll move on to kind of some of these check marks. So what are these? These are different parts of the application that are otherwise not as important as the previously mentioned ones, but are still kind of, important to keep in the background. And we'll talk about how you can help your kid kind of get something or some activity for each of these different aspects. So we'll talk about, how to get leadership. In terms of creating an organization, how you can help your kid with this. We'll talk about teaching and mentoring. We'll talk about how to get your kid research, especially with things like cold calling and summer programs, which are different things you can look into. We'll talk about shadowing as well. This is really important for medicine. And we'll talk about, how to do cold calls and how to set them up for success in terms of school programs and how to leverage your own friends and family, which isn't cheating, it's just something everyone does. And we'll also talk about this really abstract kind of part of the application process called diversity/life experience. And there's not much here because it's such an in-depth field that I really couldn't fit it all into this tiny little space. And then when the time comes, if you're still, kind of enjoying the program, we can then move on to how to get really good letters of recommendation, how to get really, professionally written essays that have really in-depth experiences to get you into a pre-match or to get you into a top 20 medical school. And we can also help with the interview prep process. But all of this is a complex process and it requires a lot of careful planning. And when you click on this program, when you join it, and when you book the coaching call below, I will work with you to create a roadmap, kind of like this one, but individualized to your kid's strengths, attributes, and wherever they are along their medical journey. If that sounds good to you, I believe as of recording this video, we have 8 out of 10 spots open, and we typically close enrollment around the time the school term starts. That would be around August 22nd. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you click the link below and we'll see you there.